Hello my lovelies, here are your Ascension Oracle readings for June for the sign of Pisces. Hope you're all doing well. I've tuned into your energies and been given a vision, and it's a delightful one. All the other signs I've had a vision for them, and you're my last one on the list, so here we go. Now I saw a very young child, she's about 7 or 8 years old, and she appeared on Britain's Got Talent a couple of years back, and she was a mini magician. I'm sorry I can't remember her name, but she was quite extraordinary, and she was from up north, and she was so self-assured and extraordinarily professional. And the one bit that they're getting me to focus on was she came down from the stage, and in front of the judges she placed a box, and she did various other little things for each of the individual judges. Then she came back to the box and she asked Simon Cowell to lift it, and he couldn't. He said, "No, I can't, it's absolutely impossible, it's too heavy, I can't budge it." So then he called David Williams, who came over, and they both tried together to lift the box, and they couldn't. It was absolutely impossible for them both to lift it. So this tiny little tot, as I say, about 7 or 8 years old, with long fair curly hair, she came back to the box, touched it, picked it up and walked back up onto the stage, and left everybody gobsmacked as to how on earth did she do that. And then I'm seeing the judges praising her and saying how clever she was. And then I don't know if this actually happened, but this is what I'm seeing in the vision, is one of them pressed the golden buzzer, so all this lovely golden glitter came down onto this small person. So I'm asking my guys, well, what is this vision about, and how does it pertain to the sign of Pisces? And what they're saying is this is about suspending disbelief and what was the other phrase? About being self-assured, going back to a time when you were 7 or 8 years old. So it's that inner child essence. It's that that purity, that innocence, that living in the now, living in the moment. So as we're moving through this energy in June, what the universe is asking of you is to suspend your disbelief. Now, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, the final sign, and the 12th house is to do with illusion, magic, past lives, that sort of thing. And so it is being suggested to you that to embrace these energies this month, which are to do with the magic of life and the abilities that you have to be the magician. So honouring your inner magician and bringing out that alchemy, that ability to change things from one thing into something else, and to do it in full view. So they're saying about suspending disbelief and hiding in full view. So whether you have the ability to do magic like this little girl did, which was totally wonderful, but we all have this inner magician, this energy within us where we can put something in front of someone and they can think it's one thing and actually it's something else. It's not about being deceptive, it's not about lies or fooling anybody. I get the feeling that for you guys this is real alchemy. It's letting go of the solid structures of your life and completely trusting that alchemy will step in, dissolve those outmoded, outworn structures, and bring something else in, which is much more sturdy and will sustain you from now, here on in. And your first little angel card is joy. So you have this energy running right through June, tickling your chuckle muscles, helping to lift you out of any sort of gloomy energies that might have got a little bit stuck in your corners where the cobwebs go. And there's three lovely, joyful little angels beaming all this joy and lovely heart energy to you. So it's about having a giggle. It's about being able to not take yourself lightly, not take yourself too seriously, and suspending disbelief. So when this little girl was doing her magic right up in front of these four judges, she was literally inches away from them, and they suspended their disbelief. If she'd been an older person, an adult, yes, it would have been a pretty good show, but because she was a little one, there was more charm to it. There was more what's the word, engagement between them and her. But the thing that stood out the most was, yes, she was only 7 or 8 years old, but she was so self-assured, she was so self-disciplined, she was well practiced, she knew exactly what she was doing, she had timing, she knew when to wait for the laugh and the reveal. So this is saying that for you this month is to go back into that joyful, childlike trust within yourself. Perhaps revisit your little self when you were about 7 or 8 years old and look at the magic that was in your life then. What did you imagine? What did you, because the word imagine, M-A-G-I, magic, what dreams did you have? What visions and goals did you have at that age that you can bring into the now? Go on a little inner journey, because the planet that rules Pisces is called Neptune, and at the moment it's retrograde, which means we go and visit stuff from the past, or stuff comes to visit us from the past. So by revisiting your childhood, those happy, joyful, magical moments, is not to leave it there, not to leave those dreams and those visions and goals. Don't leave them there, bring them into the now. And because you've had so many more years of living and experience, you should be able to pick those things up, wave your magic wand, tickle them up a bit. Ta-da! Here it is. Manifesting, using your divine gifts, your abilities, your skills to bring something into the now, which is of use to not just you, but perhaps to all of us. Now, this will take discipline. This is your self-mastery card. So, discipline, that word breaks down to disciple. So, a disciple is a student. It's someone who has learned their craft, learned their trade, learned all the ins and outs of something. So, you may not be qualified or practiced in the art of whatever it might be, but you have a natural disposition towards something. Maybe you don't need a qualification, you just know it. And I'm saying that because, as I said, Pisces is the 12th house, and it's about past lives. So even though this little girl was 7 or 8 years old, she was a master. She'd mastered her craft at that young age, and it may be because she brought it over from another lifetime. She had an ability to be the showman or the showgirl, to convince people that what she was doing was magic. And she did. She was quite the most extraordinary little person. You can probably find her on YouTube. So, discipline, it says, I recognize the value of time and of effort. As a master, I have the power to resist all forms of inertia. So inertia is doing nothing, just everything remaining exactly as it is, remaining the same. So you have the power to resist all forms of things remaining the same. Because there's change, because there's a shift in the energies for all of us on the planet, because the majority of the planets are actually going retrograde at the moment, we are revisiting an awful lot of old scenarios. Not all negative, some of them are really quite joyful. They are extraordinary. You might visit them in your dreams. You might encounter people around you who remind you of certain things happening when you were younger. And how those memories are stirred to say, well, pay attention to this because this is needed. Also, the memory stirred can be from past lives. Because you may have experienced certain things in your life and you just know how to do it. You've not had any training, you've not really read a book, you just know. You don't know how you know, but you can pick something up and just do it. And everyone says, wow, how do you manage that? I don't know. No idea. It feels right. It feels I know exactly what I'm doing. So it'd be cooking, it could be painting, drawing, gardening, knowing all the names of the plants in Latin. But whatever it is, whatever talent, skill, ability you have, it's sprinkling that magic dust on it now, and not just in a fairy tale way, but in a very practical, very grounded showman way that brings joy to people. Because an awful lot of actors and actresses are born under the sign of Pisces. You have that ability to create an illusion. Pisces are also to do with interior design, colours, fabrics, the showmanship, putting all of these things together. So however this might come up for you in your lives is keeping in mind that childlike wonder and how you present that to the world, because you will find that more people will pay attention when it has that childlike quality to it, rather than it just being slick, adult, great explosions and in-your-face stuff. This is much more fun. It's laughter, it's giggles, it's sweet. And I feel you do need some sweetness in your lives. Things have been a little bit sour or distasteful. So we have a few more oracle cards here for you. So I'm going to go to your animal card now, and this makes a great deal of sense with the vision too. This has come up, dozens of times for readings in this last couple of months. So this theme is still running through, I'd say for all of us, for the collective, and it's moose. Not chocolate mousse, but Canadian moose. And so the energy of moose, medicine, is you proclaiming yourself. You're saying, I am here. Pay attention to me. So this can be like recognition, reward. So yes, people coming to you and praising you and saying, oh, well done, like the little girl. But it fits in with the sense of discipline that You put in the hard work, you've done the hard graft. Like, this is advertising. This is spreading the word. The moose is about spreading his seed, because he wishes to multiply. He wants his offspring to be strong and as powerful as he is. So when he decides he wants to spread his seed yet again and get himself a little wifey, he bellows. He lets rip, he roars, and he lets people know, or the other moosies know, that he's out there, he's available, he's the strongest, he's the best. Come and join his family. Also with the antlers, they are like a broadcasting antennae. So the message that he is sending is being beamed out all around the globe. Pay attention to me. This is me. This is what I do. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I can do magic. I can make things happen in my life, and I can make things happen in your life too. And the 11 energy, 11 is a master number, and 11 is visionary, it's psychic, it's intuitive, it's that ability to know. You don't know how you know, but you just know. Also, 11 is a portal, it's a doorway. And as we are in Gemini season, the symbol for Gemini is two like two pillars. So throughout June, in the Gemini energy, this is an invitation for you from the universe to step through a portal, a doorway, into new opportunities. So it's a bit like with this little girl entering onto the stage of life to present her show to the public. And yes, there are 4 judges in front of her, 2 female and 2 male. Well, one of them's a bit iffy if he is a male, but anyway. So there's a balanced male and female energy judging you, but this is more how, as I say, with the Gemini energy, it is twofold. So there's a duality here. There's an ability to step forward on the stage of life, to present your show, whatever your show may be, and not being afraid to do so. So also on the 3rd of June, there's a new moon in the sign of Gemini. So when we have a new moon, it is very, very powerful to start new things, new beginnings, planting seeds, launching that website, launching that YouTube channel. And because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, this is all to do with communication, how we communicate with others, how we let the world know what we do, how we do it, how much we charge. But it's also about receiving feedback as well. So with his antlers, his antennae, it's being able to continue to learn and to grow. So not staying stuck in that one professional career or way of doing things. You continue to grow. So even with that little mini magician lady girl, she will continue, I'm sure, to practice, to learn, to grow, to learn new stunts, new ways of doing her craft. And that's what our lives are about, is learning new ways of doing things, presenting them to the world. Practice, practice, practice. Have the discipline to see where you're going wrong with something, tweak it a little bit and have another go. So with the mini moose card, oops, sorry, dropped in, he's jumping out my head. So there we are. It says, See your potential, take pride in yourself and honour your right to be. Just being. Because we're human beings, not human doings. And sometimes with the moose energy, yes, it's about broadcasting and announcements and letting people know that you're here. But it's also being able to bask in the light, bask in the limelight. So when that little girl had finished her act and she got the golden buzzer, it's that moment of suspending disbelief, where all that golden confetti came down, and just feeling, I've done it. It was good. I worked blooming hard to get here. But this is how people are receiving me now. It's not dwelling too long in that moment, because we can have great highs, we can have great lows. It's acknowledging both and then being able to move on and say, right, what's the next step? What can we have a go at now? So neither dwelling in the glooms nor dwelling in the heights of things, but just saying, I have succeeded, I have done something amazing. Let's see what other amazing things I can do. Now I've asked for a healing with the angels card. Now this is very interesting, having said what we've just said, and it is the card of retreat. So it's knowing when to step back, knowing when to pull away, knowing when to go in the workshop and start creating something else, and focusing your energies on your next performance, recharging your batteries, being able to say, no, I'm not available, I'm busy, I'm working on something, I'll come out, come and play with you when I'm ready. And this lovely angel here has her eyes closed, her arms, hands reaching out to source to be replenished. Because we can't give from an empty pot. We can't keep giving. You have to find that balance, that way of knowing what the dates are for your appearances. So you practice during the week, and then on Saturday, that's showtime. And then we have a card for your from the romance angels. This one, heart-to-heart conversations. So there's a couple here. He looks like he's a bit stubborn, doesn't want to talk. She's grabbed his hand and is pleading in a way. Please speak to me. Please tell me what you're feeling. Come on, let's talk about this. And the angels are with them, waiting for something to happen. So it feels a bit like a pause in a conversation, a pause, a waiting for something to happen. And it goes well with the retreat card, I think. And sometimes there is a pause in our energies before something truly amazing shows up. So it's like and the in-breath. Wow. Okay. And it says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So, yes, I feel this is about intimate relationships with our loved ones, our partners, our maybe our business colleagues, partners. Perhaps a conversation needs to be had. But it feels like knowing when the right time is to say something, rather than, because this guy feels like he's backed into a corner and he's not really prepared to say anything yet. And she's pleading. So when we come from that sense of urgency and pleading or begging somebody to do or say something, we're out of balance. It's disempowering, and the other person can back off and shut down. So it's feeling your way through it. It's again like with a magic act. You feel your way through the various stages of it. So if you're doing a card trick, first of all you have to learn how to shuffle. And that can take time, an awful lot of practice. Then you have to learn prestidigitation, which is sleight of hand. So you hide a card behind your hand. Look, there's nothing in my hand. Ooh, there's the card. So as I said, there's this new moon on the 3rd of June, and then there's a full moon in Sagittarius. I think it's the 17th of June. So between the 3rd and the 17th, there's this portal, this opening, this gateway with the 11 energy, sign of Gemini. Okay, so if somebody is ringing your bell or is nagging you or is demanding an answer or demanding a conversation with you, don't feel pressurized into replying immediately. Take your time, because this is heart to heart conversation. So sometimes we can just come from the head. It's what you're thinking. It's and Pisces is an emotional sign. You're a water sign, so there's a lot of emotion there, but also that you're very intuitive. So when we come from the heart rather than just off the top of our heads, saying something rashly, or if you're feeling hurt, you can snap back and be spiteful or cutting. And so it's just biding your time, and when it feels that it's right, and you've got that good feeling in your heart, yeah, it feels right now for me to be able to discuss things with you. So also with, as I say, if somebody's being too forceful and wants a decision or to force a conversation with you, is to be able to show a boundary. Say, well, I'm not in the position at the moment to give you that decision, or I'm not in the right space, I'm processing stuff, whatever, just to say to them, I can't go there yet. And they should have the respect for you to say, well, okay, all right, I'll give you that space. And then as you step into that heart energy between, well, it's all throughout June, but between the 3rd and the 17th, it's as the moon builds from being new on the 3rd. When the moon is new, we can't see it for about 3 days because it's sitting right next to the sun. So the sun's sort of, it's the glare from the sun. And so when the moon is new, it's sitting next to it, it's recharging. So the moon's recharging its batteries, sitting next to the sun. And the moon is about our emotions and our intuition. So it makes perfect sense to me that before I go into maybe a heavy-duty heart-to-heart conversation with someone, I want to recharge my batteries. So I'm not coming from all of the emotion and getting upset, and that can feel like it's a weak stance, and that you're disempowered. So allowing that energy to build. So when we reach the full moon, which is in Sagittarius, which is fire, it's not about having an argument and being all fired up, but it's much more of a giving yourself that time to process your feelings, work the magic, see how using alchemy you can change one situation into something totally different. Because if you're seeing it only one way at the moment, which is the illusion, okay, so sometimes when we watch these magicians on the TV, you think, wow, how did they do that? But if you watch it again and you actually listen to what they're saying, think, oh, now I figure out how he did it. Oh, that's very clever. And it was distracting people. So you're showing them that. So that's like hiding in full view. The ability to distract someone while something else is going on. So over this period through June, for the first sort of 3 weeks, it's being able to take something apart and figure out how they did it, or how you do it, if that makes sense to you. Right, so we shall finish off with a Angel of Abundance card. Let's see what comes up here for you. We are extraordinarily powerful, you know, even as small people. We come in a tiny weeny little body, but we've got this amazing potential all locked away in there. And for some people it comes out very early on, and for others we have to be in our dotage. You know, we have to get to the crone stage of our lives. And I'm not knocking it. I'm happy old crone I am. Yes. Right, let's see what we got for you, my lovelies. Oh, right. Aquarius got exactly the same card. So we've got lots of themes going on. But this, yeah, this is good. Cooperation instead of competition. So that applies to the, going back to Britain's Got Talent, there's all of these extraordinarily talented people gone for an audition. Some are better than others, some are rubbish, some are really, whoa, brilliant, some are actually professionals, and some are tiny little kids. But they all have their moment in the limelight. They all have an opportunity to stand in front of these judges and the general public to do their thing. And this opportunity is coming up for you. So if you feel that you are in competition with others, you are coming from a sense of lack. There is no competition. You are unique in what you do. There are 3 angels here, right? One with a harp, one with a banjo or mandolin, and one with a trumpet. For them to make sweet harmony, they have to work together. So it's a cooperation. You know, it's not competition, because if one played louder than the other, it would be unharmonious, disharmonious, discordant. So it's finding a way of playing with your friends, playing with your mates, in such a way that you make sweet music, you make harmony, you make a lovely noise, a lovely sound. And it says, what's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, as there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with the others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Anything, anything, anything. So I'm going to go back to the heart-to-heart conversations for a moment. A cooperative partnership is what you're looking for when it comes to this heart-to-heart conversation. But I feel we have to initially cooperate with ourselves to see that ideally it is a co-creative, interdependent relationship rather than codependent. So it's giving yourself space, giving the other person space or situation space to see the situation in its true light, and then to step forward and say, right, okay, I'm ready to play with you again now. What shall we do? How shall we present ourselves to the world? So I hope that's been of some help to you, my darlings. I've enjoyed doing all the readings this month. If you'd like a private session with me, the details are in the box below. And also if you like any details about my artwork, again, details are in the box below. So I'm wishing you a wonderful June. Let the magic flow. See what shows up, you know. And remember, you are extraordinarily powerful. So thanks for watching, sharing, liking. Please subscribe, because that really helps my channel to grow. And I'll see you all again soon. Lots of love. Bye.